and that you put the Cody next to the microphone.
Well, that's where he was for our last one.
That's where I was for both. I made the joke there. Like we're screwed, man. It's good.
All right.
What is this?
Action. Tell me, how was today for you guys?
Wait, we
as
weren't
producers.
we weren't recording before this?
We are now.
Oh, okay.
No,
Good.
we weren't. Yeah.
No.
What's the question?
Did you do something funny? Because I didn't say it.
Cody
I don't
does-
know.
Cody doesn't do funny things.
No, I never do funny things.
It
What
might
is
catch on fire.
what does GDEX mean for us?
That wasn't what he asked.
Yeah. I thought as producers.
Cody's, yeah. Tell me about your day as producers.
This is the shot where I just look into the camera and I'm just like,
As producers, it's awesome. It's extremely tiring, but it's awesome.
I'm so tired.
It's we try to so my go-to phrase is we try to make the whole weekend like an experience. So we want it to be more than just like, hey, there's an expo, you want to go see some games. Like we try to make sure that every day has some event that people can come to and connect about and chat. So that's awesome, but it also means we have a lot of moving parts at any given moment. But so far today, it's been pretty smooth. I mean, we always kind of put out the fires, but even those have been pretty minor. Like the exhibitors seem to really have a good time. Like our guests, they looked like they were having a blast.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of our exhibitors, and every year we get like blown away expectations. Where they're just like, man, I was here last year and the year before, and every time I'm just like, how do you guys keep getting cooler? How do you guys get to such a good vibe? Like, I had one of our speakers and one of our exhibitors kind of talk with me about how he was like, yeah, I think that I like this kind of vibe the best because you guys aren't about like showmanship. You're not about like one-upping and being the better programmer, being the better artist. You're like, let me show you this cool thing, and I want your feedback, and I want you to help me make it better.
I'm a terrible programmer. No, I agree. I think like this is a community endeavor, and we want everybody to come and do their best. So it's like sort of we want them to almost one-up themselves every year. It's not about competing against the other people here. It's about every year coming back and being like proud of what you've done and having a better game or experience or booth or whatever. And I think they've done it even yesterday when the exhibitors were loading in, and I started to see like computers power on and stuff. And I was like, holy crap! Like, there's a lot of like really awesome games here.
Yeah.
Like, not that
Yeah.
nothing negative against it. I myself was surprised.
Yeah. No, it was good. I was kind of laughing at myself because I walked somebody over to a booth that they were looking for. They're like, I just saw this person do their talk and I want to talk to them. Can you bring me to the booth? And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. So I walked them over to their booth, and unfortunately they were like out for lunch or something, right? Like they were gone for the
Is
second.
there like a little thing on there?
No, it was just like they had an iPad Pro on their like booth, and they just like picked it up and left. And then I saw them like an hour later, so I was like, okay, they must have been out to lunch. But you could tell that the person was kind of disappointed. And they're like, oh man, like okay. And I was like, well, that's okay, because you can go like over here and play this awesome game by Skookum, or you can go over here and like play Armageddon by Code Medicine, and it's really cool. Or like go all the way down there, and there's this really sweet like Tipsy Raccoons arcade game that like everybody loves. And it was kind of funny because I'm sitting here just like I was trying to come up with a good recommendation, and I was like, I recommend everything. Just look around and like point to one that you haven't been to yet, and go there.
We had some family friends show up earlier today, and they have a little boy and a little girl, and I asked the little boy, I was like, what do you think? And he's like, it's awesome. And then he wanted to show me something. So I guess he had gotten just like completely absorbed in all these games and was like running around playing them. And he wanted to show me something. I was like, okay. So I followed him, and he was telling me about the thing he wanted to show me. And then he's like, yeah. And he's like, and my dad. And we look over, and his dad's gone. He got sucked into a game like 3 booths back. So we couldn't even find him. But
That's awesome.
it was cool.
That's awesome. Chris, I have a question for you. So every
There's too many interviewers. I
I know it's
can't
good.
handle those.
It's good. Every year, there's always that tipping point, right? Where like GDEX turns from stressful to being able to enjoy it, right? So,
Uh-huh.
like, for example, last year, my tipping point was on Friday when Ty invited us to check out the planetarium show a little early to, like, make sure that we approved it. So I got to, like, see, like, all of my hard work, and I put, like, it was a solid week into this planetarium show, and I was super stressed the whole time. But, like, seeing it up on the planetarium, this cool thing that I know nobody in Columbus has ever done before, was, like, that's my tipping moment. And I got to enjoy the rest of the weekend.
No one in the world has ever done that before.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, you made a one-of-a-kind thing that does not exist anywhere else except here.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. So that was my tipping point for last year.
Okay.
So let's talk about our tipping points for a moment. Have you had your tipping point yet this year?
Well, I think, so for me, part of being boss man, I think, is that it's less about like a point and more like an ebb and flow.
Yeah.
So there's periods during the day, for example, where everything's running great and it's smooth and I can go and talk to people and relax. But I know in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I've got about 2 hours before I need to do the next thing.
Yeah.
And make sure the next thing happens okay. So that's how it is for me. Like the morning will be like real hectic, then maybe I'll get an hour or two where I can just kind of relax. Then I have to go do a panel, and then,
Yeah.
So for me, that's kind of how it is. So like right now, day's wrapped up.
Yeah.
I'm getting texts that the dance party's ready to go, so like I don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah. That's
all good.
We both got to take lunch at the same time,
I know.
and that's crazy. That's crazy. So
In fact, I got to take lunch at all. It's
yeah,
kind of
it was
crazy.
good. Kate was just like, "You're taking lunch."
Yesterday, I ate like cold chicken and rice shawarma.
Sounds about right.
It was good.
So Chris, you were here for this, but I wanna recount.
I feel like
for-
these are a lot of
for
leading
future.
questions.
No. You were here for this. I
Okay.
wanted to talk about my tipping point, right? So I agree with you very much that it's all about the ebb and flow. And it's all about that. But I want to talk about my tipping point of us
For this year?
For this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had it. It was later. It was later than Friday night. It happened a couple hours ago.
Okay.
So we were getting set up for Damon's talk, and our COSI representative Joe comes in with a table, and he puts it down, and I noticed that there's a drawer.
Oh.
And so I'm joking, and I'm like, guys, we can put something in this drawer. So I pulled just the first thing I had in my pocket. Oh, hey, it's still in there. I just pulled out a mini DisplayPort to HDMI adapter, and I opened up the drawer to put it in there. But there was something already in the drawer, and it was this thing that just said Bible, right? And so then I opened it up, and I'm like, okay, what is this? And it says, the king was angry. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego would not worship the golden statue that he had built. He had them thrown into a blazing furnace. And there's a ripped up picture,
A coloring book.
a coloring book of people being thrown in the furnace. And it says, can you circle all of the people thrown in the furnace? And that was the moment for me, where I literally got a sign from God.
Do you know what I think is almost more amazing about this? Is like, I want to know what's here. Like, what was so bad that had to be torn out of this inferno thing?
And more importantly, why was it here at COSI?
Yeah,
But that was my
But it
tipping
was.
point. I literally
that was
got-
your tipping point?
I got a sign from God
Okay.
that apparently people get thrown in furnaces. But I liked it, and
Yeah.
I liked the subtlety of just the little tipping points.
Okay. Yeah, I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
So that was like
Thanks.
a really long rant. Is that all right?
It was good. Yeah.
Let me cut there.
Thanks.
And